And we are in. Pop up with one away here to right field. Easy play for Walker, and he makes it. 2 outs now. It'll be Ciani in center, Nootbaar in left, Walker in right. So JC at third, Wynn at short, Donovan at second, Contreras at first, and Yohel Pozo as the catcher today. I've never heard of him. If you have not either, then that makes sense, because he wasn't even one of the guys I checked out the other day. Here's a hard hit ball by Joey Bart, the center, deep to center field, and gone. The catcher for the Pirates has a home run in the first against Liberatore, so his 4th pitch of the game is sent over the wall. 1-0 Pirates. So not a great start there. 411 feet, 106.2 off the bat. Donovan did get a single in the first. Since Liberatore's a lefty, the Pirates went with Bart as the third hitter today, and it worked out well. 1-0 Pirates. First pitch to O'Neill Cruz was a little bit of a hanging slider, but it's in there for strike one. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Cruz. That one was just a fastball at 95, so Liberatore has some good velocity. Not quite elite, but pretty good. The third pitch from Liberatore to Cruz. Got him with a slider. He chased outside the zone. So Liberatore makes quick work of the Pirates in the bottom of the first, but does give up that solo homer, and it's 1-0 Pirates after Joey Bart sent one over the center field wall. All right. Let's take a quick look at Pozo. Who is he? This is the roster of the Pirates, but right now we need to know who Pozo is. Yohel Pozo. He did play in 2021 for the Rangers. 21 games, 90 OPS plus, 1 home run, so he already has a big league homer. Let's take a look at some minor league stats, because he's probably been playing for a long time down there. 5 games in Memphis this year, a 1.095 OPS with 2 homers, so that's pretty good. Hitting 7 for 21, 762 slug, so 2 home runs and just 21 at-bats. That's pretty nice. He was with Texas and Oakland very recently. Oakland as recently as last year. And he's having his best year of his career at age 28 in the minors. So the Cardinals are bringing him up just for a short stint, I imagine, while Herrera gets healthy. So that's your catcher today. And then we can take a look at who else we have in the lineup today. We already know about Sajasi and Ciani from last season, but just know that we started them today. And we are back. First pitch to Walker, inside, 1-0. We went a little different with the lineup today. First 3 is the same as usual with Nootbaar, Contreras, Donovan. But then we went Burleson, Walker, Sajasi, Pozo, Ciani, and Wynn. So Ciani replaced where Victor Scott normally is. Pretty bad called strike on Walker. It is 1-1. That was way inside. Walker had a word with the ump. The pitch from Carmen Mlazinski. Smoked. Oh, what a play by the second baseman. And they get Walker at first. An incredible play at second base to take a hit away from Jordan Walker. That was Todd Frazier. There might be Adam Frazier, sorry. Too many Frasers on the Pirates over the course of the years. Here is Sajacy in the top of the second. He's 2 for 4 on the season with an absolute nuke homer in Fenway a couple days ago. Hits a high fly ball down the right field line, and somehow it drops foul in front of Canario in right field. So it's 0-1 on Sajacy after he gets bailed out on that fly ball. Cardinals were able to keep their streak, so they have now hit 10 or more hits in every game of all 9 this season. So that's something maybe a couple other teams in the entire history of recorded baseball have done. And if they can do it again today, they'll stand at the top. But somehow they will only be 500 even if they win today. So 4-5 Cardinals taking on the Pirates today. The 1-1 pitch to Sajacy. Sweeper went outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch inside, 3-1 now. Sajacy, I always expected him to kind of be a high average guy with like more of like a doubles hitter, but he did absolutely wallop one in Fenway. So if he becomes more of a home run type of guy, we could use some of that. So that would not be a problem. The 3-1 pitch to Thomas Sajacy. Hit very hard up the middle for a base hit. So there's another single. He's 3 for 5 on the season. Trying to stay up in the majors once Gorman comes back off the IL. It'll be tough to get rid of him if he keeps hitting like this. 3 for 5. Cardinals lead the league in batting average and on base percentage this year, and they're second in OPS and runs per game. So, excellent, excellent stuff. Here's Yohel Pozo from behind the plate. The catcher takes ball 1 outside. First game of the season for him, filling in for Herrera. The 1-0 pitch to Pozo. In the zone, chopped to third. They decide to go to first, so that'll function as a bunt. And it'll move Sajacy to second. That'll bring up Michael Ciani now with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs in the second. Ciani was a very good defensive center fielder for the Cardinals last year. Victor Scott's kind of won the position, but he played 124 games in center last year and played great defense. Hit just .228 during those games with 2 homers, but the defense is something you can rely on, and that's where the value comes in center field. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Ciani. Inside, 2-0 now. On deck would be Mason Wynn. The 2-0 pitch outside. Now it's 3-0 on Ciani. With runners in scoring position so far this year, the Cardinals are hitting .308. It says the Cardinals already have 130 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. And last year only had 90, which can't make sense. There's no way that's true. Here's the 3-0 to Ciani. Ball 4 inside. He walks on 4 pitches, and that will bring up Mason Wynn. So Ciani reaches for the first time this season. And Wynn has a chance to do some damage in the top of the second. Ledzinski has 27 pitches already. Mason Wynn is 8 for 15 in his last 4 after starting 0 for 18 to start the year. Here's the pitch to Wynn. Outside, 1-0. So Ledzinski just cannot find the zone. Between innings, we can look at his stats for the season so far. His ERA does sit at 6.75. And we can look at some other stats and what he's done in previous seasons during the break. Wynn steps back in. I imagine he's not wanting to swing. He's going to let them keep making a mistake. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Wynn. He takes one right down the middle, 1-1. So making Ledzinski earn it and throw strikes to Wynn. 1-1 now. And he delivers. And it's low, 2-1 on Wynn. When a guy can't find the zone, do not help him. Obviously on a 2-1, you look for that fastball again because that's what he's had command of. If that's not there, let it go. Here's the 2-1. They throw another slider well below the zone. He missed down, but they called it a strike. Wynn cannot believe it. He had to step out and shook his head at the ump. Unbelievably bad call. You can't bail out a pitcher when he's struggling like that. And is now 2-2 on Wynn. I would be absolutely furious if I were Ollie. But you can't let that eat you up. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Wynn. Ground ball, easy play at short, and they make it. They got Ciani at second on the force, and that ends the top of the second. So the ump bails out Ledzinski, and the Cardinals leave 2 on in the second. 1-0 Pirates. Let's take a look at Ledzinski's stats so far this season. Now that we have a break. So this is Pozo. Carmen Ledzinski. I imagine you don't pronounce this M. He is 0-1 on one start, had a 9.82 ERA in that start. And he only pitched 3 2/3 innings, so he likely gave up a few runs there. 3 runs there. Actually, it looks like 4. Yeah, 4 runs on 3 2/3, 4 strikeouts. So that's what he's done so far. And let's see. Last season, he had a 3.38, which is pretty good, a 1.26 ERA plus, and he was even better in 2023 with a 2.25 ERA on 35 games, just 1 start. So he isn't really a starter in the long term, but he has been a starter for them so far this season. Pretty good pitcher, but he had to get bailed out of this one. It'll be the top of the Cardinals order next inning. That is the bright side of Mason Wynn getting robbed there. But in the bottom of the second, it'll be Tommy Pham, Alexander Canario, and Andy Rodriguez. As Liberatore gets a call for strike 1, that was a little inside. So the ump consistently missing calls and expanding the zone. Here's the 0-1 to Tommy Pham, former Cardinal outfielder. Couple of times. He was on the team last season for a very brief stint after being on the team in the late 2010s for a few years. Here's the 1-1 to Pham. A little low, 2-1. And the pitch, ground ball, left side, hits the bag and bounces over Sajasi. Wynn has to go out and get it, and Tommy Pham has a single. Unorthodox single there. Took advantage of the bag. That's a play that no third baseman can make, as it is impossible to predict the ball bouncing up off the bag like that. So, very, very lucky hit for Pham, but a hit is a hit. One on and nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Here comes Canario. Alexander Canario. High fly ball. Easy play in left. Nootbaar will make the play. And no advance from Pham. One out in the second. Now it'll be Endy Rodriguez with one out and one on. Endy Rodriguez is hitting 130 on the season with a 476 OPS, so not a lot going on. Here's the first pitch from Liberatore. Strike one. The sinker has a good amount of movement for Liberatore. Threw at 94 there, had a good arm side run. Endy has no home runs so far this year. 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. Slider. Swung right over it. 0-2. For a first baseman, you'd expect the production to be a little bit higher. But we haven't seen much, so maybe it's coming. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Liberatore. Slider crushed down the left field line and fair into the corner. Shouldn't have said anything. That'll be an extra base hit for Endy Rodriguez, and there is some of that production. Pham moved to third. Still 1-0 Pirates in the second. One out. Runners on second and third for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. It's a good job by the outfield of the Cardinals to play that ball off the wall. Nootbaar read it perfectly. Cutoff man was able to get it in, and the run did not score. So, if Liberatore can get a strikeout of IKF, they could strand these runners. Ground ball to the right side, fair. That will score both runners. And it is 3-0 Pirates here in the second. So IKF wasted no time, drove one the other way. Wilson Contreras was playing off the line. There was nobody there to get that one. And Walker had no chance because it was such a slow hit ball. Did try to go to the plate, and IKF was unable to advance, so that was an okay decision. But the Cardinals trail early once again. Almost none of the pitching staff living up to what is expected outside of Palante and Sonny Gray. Everybody else has struggled so far, so Cardinals do have a very deep, very productive lineup so far this season. A record-breaking lineup, in fact, but the pitching just has not held it up. 3-0 Pirates here in the second. It'll be Adam Frazier. So it was Adam. As I corrected myself too. And here he is. He's hitting .231 this season with a .531 OPS. Sinker misses inside, 1-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. So Liberatore trying to settle himself down after 3 earned runs. Cardinals stranded a couple last half inning on a controversial call. Here's the 1-1. Slider was able to get Frazier to chase, 1-2. Some ugly swings coming from the Pirates so far. They're lefties. The slider must look really enticing. Here is the 1-2. Up in the zone, fouled away by Frazier. Here's the 1-2. Nope. Liberatore checks on Pham. The 1-2. He chases another slider. Pops it foul. Still 1-2. The pitch to Frazier is upstairs, ground ball on a hit and run, so they prevent the double play. And IKF reaches second base, but Frazier did ground out to second, and there are 2 away here in the second. So IKF on second, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Brian Hayes at the top of the order. I believe it's pronounced Key Brian Hayes. Here's the first pitch from Matthew Liberatore. Too high, 1-0. Hayes in his career against the Cardinals is hitting .245 with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's known for being a good defensive third baseman. Here's the pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Some say he's been robbed of a couple of gold gloves by Nolan Arenado, and they have a pretty compelling case, at least as far as outs above average go. Here's the pitch to Hayes, a little high, but it's called a strike, 1-2. So one more pitch could get Liberatore out of this. And he delivers. Smoked the other way for a base hit, and that will score yet another run for the Pirates. IKF came around to score, and it is 4-0 in the second. The pitching continues to get knocked. Hayes just stayed inside out, let that ball travel, and drove it the other way for a deep single. Absolutely no chance to get IKF at the plate, especially with 2 outs. That'll bring up Andrew McCutchen, who fouls the first pitch away. 12 years ago, McCutchen won the MVP, 2013. And he's still playing. Wearing number 22, playing DH for the Pirates now. Here's the pitch. Curveball, dropped below the zone, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to McCutchen. Upstairs, 2-1. So the Cardinals chose not to fill this 5th starter spot and tried to call up Liberatore as a starter. Not working out so far in this one. 3-1 now on McCutchen as the slider misses inside. We'll see if Liberatore can lock back in, try to stretch out this start as long as he can. But it has started about as bad as it could. 4-0. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2, even though it was above the zone. And it is a full count on McCutchen. McCutchen did not like that call. You could see it in his face, but he did not say anything. The runner will be on the move. Here's the pitch. Fly ball deep to center field. Siani calls off Nootbaar and makes the play. Through 2, the Pirates lead this one 4-0. And the Cardinals' top of the order is due up in the 3rd. Nootbaar, Contreras, Donovan. Let's take a look at the Pirates. These are the expected starters for the season. So the only one who is out of the lineup today is Suwinski, and they're going with Alexander Canario instead. Actually, McCutcheon is also in the lineup, and that means Brian Reynolds is not in the lineup. So it's a pretty big guy to be missing, probably due to the platoon advantage. Cardinals will face Mlodzinski, probably Ludzinski, today, and then Paul Skeens tomorrow, so that'll be the exciting one. And then Mitch Keller, in all likelihood, in the third game. So Sonny Gray versus Paul Skeens tomorrow. That'll be a great, great game. Obviously, Skeens is a brand new elite pitcher from last season, known for his relationship as well and his fantastic stats. All right, Nootbaar will be coming up to the plate, and the game has returned. Most runs by leadoff men in the first 9 games of the season. Nootbaar is second on that list. Well, third, I guess. All time for the Cardinals. Behind 2 legends who had 11. He had 10. First pitch missed. 1-0, and here's the second. Very slow sweeper. Caught the outside corner. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Nootbaar is outside. 2-1. Slider missed out. Nootbaar gets set. So does the pitcher. Ludzinski delivers. Fastball upstairs, swung right through by Nootbaar, 2-2. Nootbaar's OPS has fallen to 926 on the season, but he's getting on base plenty. Still at this time in the season. Here is the pitch, strike 3. Took a fastball right in there. And Nootbaar goes down for the second time today, first strikeout. And that'll bring up Wilson Contreras with nobody on here in the third. First pitch to Contreras from Ludzinski. Strike 1. Changeup dropped on the inside corner. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Contreras is a hanging sweeper, and he fouls it away. 0-2. That ball was curving right into his sweet spot, and he was unable to track it down. So the count runs to 0-2, and here is the 40th pitch of Ludzinski's day. And he missed way upstairs and almost hit Contreras, knocked him to the floor. He apologizes to Contreras as the count moves to 1-2 on him. Over in Detroit, the Tigers did beat the Yankees 6-2. So that puts the Yankees and the Tigers both at 6-4 on the season. The Marlins and the Mets are tied at 0. Toronto's tied at 0 in Boston with the Red Sox. And there's one other game as Contreras hits a ground ball to third. Key Bryan makes the play for out number 2. That last game that is on is the Dodgers at Washington. And the Nationals lead that one 2-0. This will bring up Brendan Donovan here in the third in a 4-0 game in favor of the Pirates. 2 outs, nobody on for Donovan. He's 1 for 1 today. He got a single in the first. Here's the pitch. Sweeper in the zone, strike 1. Donovan hitting .346 in his career against the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1. He's hitting .351 on the season overall, so numbers pretty similar. His OPS sits at .958 on the season, and he already has 2 home runs. The 1-1 to Donovan. Fouled away. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Upstairs, 2-2. Ledzinski trying to be as efficient as he can, but he's only thrown 26 strikes on 45 pitches. Here is pitch 46, the 2-2 to Donovan. Hit hard the other way, but the left fielder was playing a little close. That's Tommy Pham, and he makes the catch. So Ledzinski gets out of it. Still no runs scored for the Cardinals as we move to the bottom of the third, 4-0 Pirates. And the Dodgers have tied it up in Washington, 2-2. We knew the Dodgers don't lose very often, and they don't stay behind very long. Let's take a look at Joey Bart, the Pirates catcher. .6'3", 235. Last season, he only had 28 at-bats and a negative -0.1 WAR, 61 OPS plus. He was a very big name for the Giants, but he was still unable to hit very well until 2024 with the Pirates, where he played 80 games and had a 120 OPS plus, 13 home runs in those 80 games. So far this season, he hadn't been great until that home run back in the first. So Bart is back on track. Had a very good season last year. But this season hasn't been great. Liberatore will make his way back out onto the mound. He's thrown 25 strikes on 32 pitches, so only 7 balls. He's just getting hit hard. 5 hits allowed already. And Joey Bart will be due up first here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. He homered in the first. Did he go? He did not. 1-0 here on Bart. The 1-0. Ground ball. Easy play for Arenado. Arenado's not playing. It was Sajasi. 1 out here in the third. So I'm so used to having Arenado in the corner that I just said that by reflex. Sajasi's playing third base today. Still Donovan at second, Contreras at first, and Wynn at short. So he's the only one that's unusual besides Pozo behind the plate and Ciani in center. Strike 1 on a slider to O'Neal Cruz. Cruz is 8 for 34 on the year for a .234 average. 2 homers, .828 OPS. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Walker will cut off Ciani and make the catch. 2 outs in the third. That one was more to the right side of the field. That's why Walker made the play. That will bring up Tommy Pham for his second at-bat of the game. He is 1 for 1. Strike 1 on a curveball. Second pitch from Liberatore. Low and in, 1-1. Liberatore making pitch number 39 of the game. Pulled foul by Pham, 1-2. Pham with just a 384 OPS on the season. Does have a single in this one and a run scored. Here's the 1-2. Above the zone, he chases, strike 3, and Liberatore gets out of it with a strikeout. Through 3, it's 4-0 Pirates. And Liberatore has 2 strikeouts today, 1 home run allowed. It'll be Burleson, Walker, and Sajasi for the Cardinals in the 4th. It's fine. Let's see if we can get a quiz. NL MVPs. Let's see if I can do any of these. I think I've already tried this. But did Mantle? He did not. Great start. Koufax? Maybe that might not even be how you spell that. There it is. Kershaw, Verlander. I'm just trying to get these pictures. Verlander was AL. Posey definitely won one. Mauer definitely won one. Oh, he's in the AL. All right. Bonds. Jones. Did Maddox. Nope. Gwynn probably. Nope. Votto. He did. Braun. Pujols. Gibson. Bellinger and Yelich. Stanton. Bryant. Harper. Riley probably didn't. Freeman probably. There we go. Arenado did not. It was Goldie. There we go. Ohtani. And that must be Acuna. All right. So we got the... Well, let's get McCutchen, obviously. He's playing in this game. And that takes us back to 2007. It'll be Burleson due up first for the Cardinals as we get back into this one. It is 1-1 on Burleson. Here's the pitch from Ludzinski. In there with a sweeper for strike 2, 1-2. Burleson hitting 276 with a 668 OPS on the year. Pretty good. 0 for 1 today. What the heck? All right, the 1-2 pitch to Burleson. A little outside, 2-2. Beautiful view at PNC. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, he chases it for another strikeout. So, Ludzinski gets a strikeout there. That will be his 3rd of the game. And there's 1 out in the 4th. Here comes Jordan Walker. Walker hitting 323 with an 851 OPS on the year. It is the 4th inning. He has 1 home run on the year. Here's the pitch way outside, 1-0. The pitch from Ludzinski to Walker. Inside, 2-0 now. So Walker way ahead in this count so far. It's good to see him hitting so far this season. Here's the 2-0. Right in there, he fouls it back off the umpire. 2-1. Cardinals have shown a lot of fight so far this season. I don't expect anything less from them in this game. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. It will be a little harder to produce 10 hits, as they have in every game so far this season, without some of those pieces at the bottom of the lineup. Arenado with the day off today. Herrera. Timeout Walker here, still 2-2. Herrera and Gorman obviously missing with injuries. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Jordan Walker. A little upstairs. Count runs full on Walker. So Arenado, Herrera, and Victor Scott all missing this one. Two guys in the lineup have not had a hit so far this season, and those are Pozo and Ciani, though Ciani got on base half the time so far, so he just hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. Here's the full count pitch to Walker. In there for strike 3 with a sinker. So Walker goes down looking, and there are 2 away in the top of the 4th. And that will bring up Thomas Saggese, who is 3 for 5 on the season, 1 for 1 today. With a hard hit single, here's the pitch, right in there for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch to Thomas Saggese. Ground ball to the left side. Shortstop makes the play, but he's safe. Ooh, that's a terrible call. Umpire called him out. But the Cardinals will definitely get that checked, as he was very obviously safe. So Saggese, running for his life, is able to beat one out there. He will have a single with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, and that'll move him to 4 for 6 on the season, 667 average. And Pozo will step up to the plate after they review this. Oh, did I forget to adjust? No, I didn't. We are all good. Saggese clearly beat it out. There's no doubt about it. And the umps changed the call. So there you go. Saggese with an infield hit. Beat it out. A good play by the shortstop, IKF, but he was unable to deliver the ball quick enough. So Saggese reaches to first. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And that will bring up Yohel Pozo for his second at-bat as a Cardinal. And they miss outside with a slider, 1-0. Pozo is a little bit short, so it would not surprise me if they walk him. It's not a very big strike zone. Here is the 1-0. Ground ball foul, 1-1. Jeez, what is that? Here's the 1-1. It's low. 2-1. Oh boy. Pajes getting a day off here. Still 2-1 on Pozo. Here is the pitch. Pulled and caught at shortstop by IKF, and the Pirates get out of the inning. Cardinals still don't have a run in this one. It was 4-0 Pirates through midway through the fourth. It will be Alexander Canario, Andy Rodriguez, and IKF in the bottom of the fourth for Pittsburgh. What? All right, let's get back to the MVP quiz. Did Halliday win MVP? He did not. Lee did not. Who else was on that team? I don't think Johnson did. He did not. Biggio definitely did. Might be wrong about that. Sosa. I don't think Helton did, no. Walker. Yep. This is pretty much the extent of my baseball knowledge. I should be able to get the Phillies, but that one evades me. Is it Howard? No, oh, it is. Okay, Howard won one of them. Oatley did not. I don't think Musial did. He did. Okay. Did Robinson ever win this? He did. Obviously, you can go to some of the best guys of all time. Hank Aaron. He had one. Willie Mays had a few. Did Ripken ever get one? He did not. All right. Or no, he was with the Orioles, so it wouldn't be on here. Either way, here we go. One away for Liberatore. Canario at the plate. Nope, Andy Rodriguez at the plate. Canario already went down somehow. Let's make an adjustment to the scoreboard. Make it look a little better. Is that the right direction? Yep. So 1-1 here for Andy Rodriguez. Liberatore delivers. Hit hard to center field. And that drops down for a base hit. So 2 hits for Andy Rodriguez at first base. And the production's starting to pick up for him. That'll bring up IKF. With Rodriguez on first. 1 out in the fourth. Let's make sure this is streaming. Huh, that's strange. Oh well. Sinker in there for strike 1 on IKF. Here's the 0-1. Hit to the right side. Donovan goes to second. And the Cardinals fail to get IKF at first. They did get the force out at second, so hopefully that stands. Questionable decision by Donovan. Close play at second, but does look like they got the force out. So good job by Donovan getting it there quickly. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th of a 4-0 ball game in favor of the Pirates so far. You just need the Cardinals to start to come back, and this could get close quickly. Here's the 0-1. Oh, nope. Liberatore throws the ball over to first to check on the runner. IKF wasn't going anywhere. Still 0-1 on Adam Frazier. Here's the second pitch to Frazier. Runner tries to steal, and he gets gunned down by Pozo. Great throw by Pozo. And he solidifies himself as a good defensive catcher in my eyes, at least so far, because I've only seen that one throw. Excellent throw, gunned him down, and that ends the 4th. 4-0 lead for the Pirates. Headed to the top of the 5th. It'll be Siani, Mason Wynn, and Nootbaar to start off the 5th, so big opportunity for a big inning there. And a great momentum shift at the end of the 4th for the Cardinals. Pozo absolutely gunned him down. A perfect throw. Let me see. I don't think I can change the bit rate of my YouTube stream, so I'm just hoping I might stop it and restart it. There we go. Now it says there's good connection, so that'll be good. No more buffering. Hopefully anyone who wants to watch on YouTube can. And let's get back to the quiz for a minute. I mean, MVPs should be easier than this. Like, I'm sure maybe Jenkins. No, he's a pitcher. These usually go to hitters, for better or for worse. $2,000 Giants. It's crazy that they had an MVP before Bonds. And then Bonds won it 4 times in a row for them. I don't think, I mean, Lincecum was like way after that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, a couple Pirates on this list. Let's just take a look. Jimmy Rollins won an MVP. Wow. I didn't know that. Bagwell, that makes sense. Obviously, the Cardinals, who I missed. Orlando Cepeda, Joe Torre, Willie McGee, Marty Marion, Mort Cooper, Dizzy Dean. I should have got Dizzy Dean. And then Joe Medwick. Oh well. Let's get back to the game. Siani with a single out to left field. And the Cardinals have one on here in the top of the 5th for Mason Wynn. So a big chance to start a rally against Ledzinski. Ledzinski's got his season ERA down at 4.70 so far, if he's able to hold it where it is. But the Cardinals begin to threaten right now. so that's exciting. Here is the first pitch to Mason Wynn. A little bit low, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to Wynn. In there for a strike, 1-1. So, attacking the bottom of the zone against Wynn so far. And it is 1-1 on him with Nootbaar on deck. Here is the 1-1 pitch to Wynn. Slider caught the inside part. He fouled it back. 1-2. Tough pitch to hit for Wynn. But if he waits on that, it gets a lot easier. The 1-2 pitch from Ledzinski to Mason Wynn is low, 2-2. Wynn is 8 for 34 on the year. That's a 235 average, but in recent games, he's doing much, much better. Almost up at 500 in those games. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Wynn. Swing and a miss on a fastball right down the middle. Just got above that barrel. And there's one out with one on here for Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar has been the star of the team so far, although Donovan might have better stats. Nootbaar's just been able to reach at the top of the order, get hits when the team needs them, make some sliding catches out and left. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a sinker. 0-1. Donovan really got a few hits last game, and that kind of flipped it. Entering the series against the Red Sox, Donovan's average was in the 200s, but he got it up to 342 with a 934 OPS. And Nootbaar's is at 317 with a 905. Here is the 0-1 from Ledzinski to Nootbaar. He went around on a slider, 0-2. Did not want to chase that pitch, but he did. And now he's in the hole, 0-2 against Ledzinski. Nootbaar is set. Here's the 0-2. Up and away, 1-2 now on Nootbaar. Nootbaar has 13 hits so far this season, looking for hit number 14. Here is the 1-2 pitch to him. A little outside with a slider, 2-2. Ledzinski is ready and delivers, and Nootbaar fouls it back, 2-2. Nootbaar has one strikeout today. He is 0 for 2. I believe he's reached base in every game this season, but has not yet today. Timeout by Ledzinski. Wants a new baseball. Siani on first, Nootbaar at the plate. The 2-2 pitch from Ledzinski is about to be delivered. Here it is. Fouled to the left side, and we will do it again. Still 2-2. And he delivers, and he's outside. It is now 3-2 there. He missed with a changeup. Let go a little too early. Went way outside of Nootbaar, and now it is 3-2 on him. Here in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch. In there with a slider. Caught Nootbaar looking again. He was looking for a walk, did not get it. And now there's 2 outs with Siani on first for Wilson Contreras. Four to nothing Pittsburgh. The 81st pitch of the game from Ludzinski here in the 5th. First pitch to Contreras. A little low, 1-0. Contreras hitting 108 on the year with a 337 OPS. Pretty decent after his very poor start. Here's the pitch. Fouled back, 1-1. He started the season 0 for 19, maybe a little bit more than that. So since then, he's hitting up around 250. Here is the 1-1 pitch to Contreras. Fouled back. 1-2 now. Cardinals only have 4 hits in this game, which is not too bad for the 5th inning. But no runs have come across to score. Here is the 1-2 pitch to Contreras. Outside, 2-2. 4 hits is also below pace to try to get to 10, which the Cardinals have done every game so far this season. Minimum of 10 hits. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Contreras. A little below the zone, he fouled it into the dirt. Still 2-2 with 2 outs here. Siani on first in the top of the 5th. Timeout by Contreras. Wants to think about it a little bit. And the pitch. Upstairs. Count runs full. So Siani will be on the move on this pitch with 2 outs, standing on first base. Very fast runner, so his head start could mean a lot if Contreras can put one in the gap. Here is the full count pitch. Outside, ball 4. And now there are 2 on for Brendan Donovan. Donovan has a hit today. He's 1 for 2. Big opportunity for the Cardinals as Ludzinski has reached 87 pitches on the day. Pitch 88 would come to Donovan if they stick with him. The Pirates are having an infield meeting right now. Ludzinski will remain on the ground. On the mound, I mean. And Donovan will step up to the plate here in the top of the 5th. So as I said, Donovan hitting 342 on the season with 2 home runs. Already has a single today. Big chance for the Cardinals to finally dent this 4-0 Pittsburgh lead here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs. 2 on and 2 outs. Pitch to Donovan. Low, 1-0. That was a sweeper. Broke way below the zone. Here's the 1-0 to Donovan. Slider was able to catch the outside corner, 1-1. Donovan trying to get ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Ludzinski. It is low and in. 2-1 now. Big chance for the Cardinals. Donovan locks in with his special bat. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Donovan. Hit very hard out to right. It gets down, and the Cardinals will put 1 on the board as Ciani comes around to score. It is 4-1 now, still in favor of the Pirates. Burleson will come up to the plate with runners at the corners, with a chance to break into this lead even more. Donovan was able to just stay on a very slow-moving sweeper there. And shot it out to right center field. His bat was called the depth charge on the Sunday Night Baseball broadcasts. First pitch to Burleson is hit into left field. And O'Neal Cruz makes the catch, ranging over from center. But the Cardinals were able to put up 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-1 Pittsburgh, after a Donovan RBI single. All right, let's take a look at this. What is up with that? Around the league, the Dodgers are trailing 3-2 against Washington. Boston trails 1-2 against Toronto. Kansas City leads the Twins 1-0. And the rest of the games are tied at 0. I will be back in 30 seconds. Swing and a miss. And Frazier goes down. A good pitch from Liberatore. 4-1 Pirates here in the bottom of the 5th. First out recorded by Liberatore. First pitch to Hayes is in there. Nope, a little low. 1-0. Did look like a strike, but the ump did not give it to him. The 1-0 pitch to Ke'Bryan Hayes is a strike there. 1-1. Liberatore is set. Here's the 1-1. A little low, but he fouled it back. 1-2. It always catches me off guard when a pitch looks like it's going to miss and then the hitter still swings. That time Hayes was able to get down there and foul it back, but still did not help himself. 1-2 now on Ke'Bryan Hayes. He's hitting .270 on the year with 1 home run and a .757 OPS. Here's the 1-2 from Liberatore. Fouled back. Still 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch to Hayes. Got him with a curveball. Dropped off the face of the earth. And it's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Matthew Liberatore. Trying to keep the Cardinals in it after 4 runs were scored in the first 2 innings. Liberatore has the chance to blank the Pirates for 3 innings in a row here. Great pitch by Liberatore. And if he gets this out, well, let's see. That was the 60th pitch of the game, fouled away. So he'll be below 70 pitches if he can get this out through 5 innings. So he might be able to really stretch this out and make it not too bad of a start. Here's the pitch to McCutchen. Missed inside, 1-1. Generally, a start where you give up 4 runs in the first 2 innings ends up being a really, really bad one. But if you can stretch this to 6 or 7 innings, it's a winnable game. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. 1-2 now on McCutchen. 4 runs is kind of the limit for having a decent start, though. Anything more than that, it's pretty bad. But here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back, 1-2. McCutchen is 6 for 21 on the year with a homer. Today he has just 2 flyouts. Here is the 1-2 pitch from Liberatore to McCutchen. Drops the curveball low and in. McCutchen does not bite. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Andrew McCutchen is up and in. Count runs full. So Liberatore up at 65 pitches now. Hopefully he can make this one a strike. Here's pitch 66 to Andrew McCutchen. Fly ball. On the infield, Contreras charges and crashes into Pozo as Pozo tried to make the grab, and neither one was able to come up with it as the count remains 3-2, and Pozo likely has a concussion. Contreras did not look where he was going. Pozo was there. Contreras ran into him. Both gloves converged on the ball at the same time. Contreras ran through Pozo, and he is laying on the ground. He said he's good, but I don't know if he is. Not too much of a collision with the head, actually. He just wasn't expecting it. All right, Pozo gets the catcher's mask back on. Looks like he's going to stay in the game, and the count is still 3-2 on McCutchen after what I consider to be an error on Contreras and Pozo, but that was not... Nobody reached base there. Like, if they get this out, then it's almost meaningless. But hopefully they're both okay as well. They look to be okay. Liberatore delivers to Andrew McCutchen. And it's smoked to left field for a hit, and now it definitely should be an error, but they're not going to call it one. McCutchen reaches base on a second chance that you just should not give him. And there's 1 on and 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th for Joey Bart, who did homer in the first. 411 feet to dead center. And here is pitch 68 on the game from Liberatore. Strike one. Beautiful curveball on the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch to Bart. Swing and a miss on a sinker. So he's working him both ways now. 0-2 on Joey Bart. Liberatore delivers the 0-2. Got him with a slider low and in, and the Cardinals are out of the 5th inning. So the Cardinals strike back with 1 and hold the Pirates to nothing. And that's 3 straight scoreless innings for Liberatore. Due up for the Cardinals in the top of the 6th are Jordan Walker, Thomas Saggese, and Yohel Pozo. So hopefully he's okay to stay in the game, because he is due up to hit. Pozo already gunned down a runner in this one, and it'd be great to see him get his first hit as a Cardinal as well. Ledzinski is at 92 pitches, so it's likely that we'll see the first inning from the Pirates bullpen here in the 6th. So we will see. Let's see. Maybe there's some sort of baseball quiz that's easier for me. Multiple MVP winners? I don't know if I could do that. Super Bowl MVPs? I think I could do that. Let's give that a try. Probably couldn't do all of them. But especially if they give me the team, I'll be able to work it out. Oh, it's all of them. Okay, well, we'll see how far back I can go. I know Aaron Rodgers won one. Then we can go to Eli Manning. That gave me Peyton Manning. I know Von Miller was there for the other Manning Super Bowl. Flacco won one for the Seahawks. Did they give it to Russell Wilson? They didn't. Unless it's spelled like this. No. So, did Sherman get one? No. That'll be interesting. I'm going to have to think about that. It wouldn't be Lynch, would it? No. That's an interesting one. Let's just go to the ones that are obvious. Brady. Recently, Hurts. You had Mahomes. Cup. That was Edelman. The Eagles. Did he go to Foles? Wow. All right, back with the Saints, you had Breeze. Steelers, Roethlisberger. That's where we'll stop for now. Okay, well, unless it was Holmes. It was. Okay, that's cool. The other one, we'll see. All right, I bet the game's back by now. It is not. Oh, yes, it is. Here we go. Jordan Walker. 0-2 on Walker. From Harrington. So it's Thomas Harrington. He has a 13.50 ERA on the year. So he's a guy the Cardinals could take advantage of here in the top of the 6th. Jordan Walker is 0 for 2 today. He's hitting .313 on the season. Here's the pitch from Thomas Harrington. He did not go on a sweeper. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Harrington to Jordan Walker. In there for strike 3, and they get him looking again. So Walker takes strike 3 right in there. Seems like all of Pirates pitching has gotten just a little bit better recently. They are doing a lot better at sneaking pitches by. unsuspecting hitters. And I think Skeens might have a little bit to do with that, and a good new pitching philosophy. Thomas Ajacek stepping up to the plate now. He's 2 for 2 today. A little bit low. He's 4 for 6 on the year as a Cardinal, with a homer and 4 RBIs, a 1.738 OPS. So another guy who's starting hot. Hopefully he can keep it up. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Sajasi from Harrington. Outside 2-0. Cardinals produce infielders like it's nothing. And Sajasi seems to be yet another one of those that they acquired in that Montgomery trade. Here's the 2-0. Fouled back, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Thomas Sajasi. Low and away. Now 3-1 on him, with Pozo on deck. If someone told me we would have Sajasi, Pozo, and Siani playing, I would know that a couple people were getting a day off. But a couple people are injured as well. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball foul. 3-2. So Sajasi's got to be smart here. Protect the zone if it's close. Otherwise, you got to lay off and take your base to first. Here is Thomas Harrington with his 10th pitch of the inning. Ground ball to the left side. Easy play at short for IKF. And he makes it. 2 away here in the top of the 6th for Yohel Pozo. Pozo is number 63. You wonder how that jersey number gets assigned and why he liked it. Here is the first pitch from Harrington to him. Sweeper above the zone, 1-0. It would be good to see Pozo reach, give Siani a chance to do something before Wynn and the top of the order come up after this. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Low in the zone, a little bit too low for the zone. 2-0 now. That was a splitter. Pozo has a ground out and a line out today. He had a collision in the last half inning. Here's the 2-0. Hit hard to left field. And gone. A solo homer for Yohel Pozo. So he delivers after that collision. Clearly he was doing just fine. And he hits a solo homer for the Cardinals. It is now 2-4. So a great shot from him. So 4-2. That'll bring up Michael Siani with 2 outs in the 8th. The Cardinals are fighting back in this one. Here is the pitch. A little bit low, 1-0. So Pozo has a homer. Now all 3 Cardinals catchers who have hit so far this season have a home run. Herrera has 4. And he will be back soon from the IL. It's just a 10-day. Here's the pitch to Siani. Strike 1, 1-1. So a splitter catches the top part of the zone. 1-1 on Michael Siani. He has a walk and a single in this one. Has already scored a run. Helped this offense a little bit. The 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2 on Siani in this 2-4 baseball game. Cardinals are inching back into it. 1 run at a time. And if Siani is unable to reach, you'd have Mason Wynn, and then the top of the order in the 7th. So really good chance for the Cardinals coming up soon. Just 2-run deficit. That could be caught at any time. Here's the 1-2 from Harrington. Fly ball foul. So Ciani having some good at-bats. Already has a walk. Extends this at-bat. Makes Harrington throw more pitches here. Also already has a single. The 1-2 again from Harrington. Fouled off Ciani's foot. That one's going to sting a little bit. He has to call time and jump around a little bit. The ump is giving him time for free. That one hit the inner shin, between the shin guard and the ankle there. So a little bit of a stinger for Ciani. Hopefully it doesn't affect his running in center field. The 1-2 pitch from Thomas Harrington. Ground ball foul. So Ciani's still working this at bat. You definitely don't expect to see Harrington again after this. Should be his only inning of work. He's already thrown. This will be his 20th pitch. And it is low. 2-2 on Michael Ciani. The 2-2. Swing and a miss on a splitter. Got him to swing over it, but Yoel Pozo has his first hit and his first home run as a Cardinal here in PNC Park. And it is 4-2 Pirates midway through the 6th. Due up for the Pirates. We will have, let's see, you guys should be able to see it. Actually, nope, hasn't made its way to the graphic yet. I guess we don't know who's pitching for the Cardinals, but Liberatore has thrown 70 pitches, so you think he might go out there and get one more inning in? Forgot who the last out for the Pirates is, and the due-up hasn't changed, so let's see. It is O'Neill Cruz, Tommy Pham, and Alexander Canario. Right. Super Bowl MVPs. What else do we know? Obviously, you had Marino. He did not. Okay. Who were these Dolphins then? Some real old guys. Did Urlacher somehow win one? No. All right, let's go back to Staubach. How do you even spell that? There we go. And Denny Smith. Yep. Emmett. And Malcolm Smith won. Okay, I wouldn't have been able to get that. I'm going to be honest with you. But I knew Emmett, and then I knew Troy Aikman. There we go. And then Irvin. They all won one? No. I wonder who that cowboy is. Okay. So on a Brady team, there was a year where it wasn't Brady. It must be the kicker. That might be a crazy thing to say. I don't know if the kickers ever won it. But if someone did, it was definitely Gostowski. Is that how you even spell that? Whatever. We'll worry about that later. I'm sure the game's back by now. Wow. Liberatore is still out there, and the Cardinals defense just made an incredible play. Mason Wynn, a diving stop, and threw out Tommy Pham. And there's 2 outs in the 6th, so I don't know exactly what led to that. But we might even have a 1-2-3. And there is a hard ground ball to Sajaci at third. He launches it over to first, but well over the head of Contreras, and Canario will reach on a ground ball. So Liberatore tried to have a very low pitch inning, but Sajaci has an error, and the Pirates are able to get a base runner. That is Canario. It's been a long time since I've seen someone overthrow a first baseman to that degree. But that's what you get when a guy plays a position he doesn't normally play. Here's the pitch. Strike 1 on Rodriguez. He is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Sorry, a double and a single. Put one in the gap earlier. Pops one foul with a cutter. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Liberatore to Endy Rodriguez. In there for strike 3, but they call it a ball. 1-2. So Liberatore can't believe it, but doesn't show much reaction. It's very cold outside in Pittsburgh. His nose is all red. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. So Endy Rodriguez, he's pulled up his season-long OPS to 630 from the 300s just in this game. And here is the 2-2 pitch to him in the 6th. Swing and a miss on a curveball. And Liberatore gets out of that inning with 4 outs there. One of them reached on an error. So great job by Liberatore. Quick work of the Pirates. Just his 80th pitch of the game, and we're through 6, 4-2 Pirates. It'll be Mason Wynn, Lars Nootbaar, Wilson Contreras for the Cardinals in the 7th. So the Cardinals are making this a game. This is one of those where you stick around and then you get that chance late in the game to tie it up and eventually take it from the Pirates when they least expect it. At least that's what the Cardinals are hoping for here. I thought I would know a couple more of the NFL MVPs. Super Bowl MVPs. I assume there was no Brown. Well, Larry Brown. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, we can get some 49ers. Montana. Gets me a few. Did I get Johnson? No, he is not one. I don't think, I mean, Sean Taylor was excellent, but he was never a Super Bowl champion. Oh, was it Vinatieri? Was he the one pitching, kicking for the Patriots? Probably was, but I don't know how to spell it. All right, let's take a look. Desmond Howard, because of those kick returns. John Elway is one I should have had for sure. Ray Lewis is another one I definitely should have had. It was Hines Ward. That was the receiver that won it. Okay. Deion Branch, Dexter Jackson, Kurt Warner, Terrell Davis, Steve Young. That's one I should have had for sure. Jerry Rice. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even I just don't know the time periods because all they labeled it by was this these Roman numerals. If I had the year, it would have been easier to know. And Bradshaw's one I should add. Oh well. See, I just don't do well on these quizzes. It's so random. I'm just clicking on them during the commercials. All right, so Nootbaar popped one foul, and Rodriguez was unable to make the play. Sorry, that was Win, and it's 0-2 on Mason Win. A little bit low. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch to Win. Upstairs, 2-2. So the Pirates gave him new life, and he's able to get this at-bat to 2-2. Nootbaar waiting on deck. Big chance if he can get on base. Let's go, Mason. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Win. From Harrington. They are going to keep him in the game. Inside, 3-2 now. So Win has taken 3 balls in a row. It is the Honda home run inning, so good chance for the Cardinals to get some money to charity. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Win. Right down the middle, he pops it up. Out to right field. Drifts back in the wind, but Canario's able to make the play. 1 out. So here comes Lars Nootbaar. Cardinals lead the league in runs per game in the 7th inning or later. So hopefully they can keep that up now. The wind is blowing to right field right now, so if Nootbaar can get a hold of one, he'd get that advantage. Sweeper. Up and in for a strike. 0-1. Nootbaar's OPS has fallen to 884, but he's 13 for 42 on the year for a 310 average. The pitch. Splitter low in the zone, 0-2. So Harrington has settled in, even though he's thrown 30 pitches. And Nootbaar has a foul out and 2 strikeouts in this one. So that's a pretty bad game so far for him. Here's the 0-2. Low in a little below the zone. 1-2 now. One-two pitch to Nootbaar. He's been a star this season. Missed outside with the splitter. 2-2. Nootbaar seems to be hitting really, really well in St. Louis this year. Cold weather might bother him a little bit, but hopefully he adjusts well. Here's the 2-2 to Lars Nootbaar. Looking to reach base. Inside, 3-2 now. Second full count for Nootbaar in this one. Trying to reach base for the first time today. Contreras looms on deck. Here's the 3-2. Outside, ball 4, and Nootbaar reaches base again. So every time he's played this season, he has reached base. Great job by Nootbaar. He will be waiting on first as Wilson Contreras steps up to the plate with 1 out and 1 on in the 7th. Contreras is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout in this one. Here's the first pitch to him. Got him to chase a sweeper outside, 0-1. Seems like the sweeper revolution has caught Contreras up a little bit. Since 2023, he's chasing a lot of those. So I'd love to see the stats on that. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Contreras. Another sweeper, hit hard to second base. They are still able to flip it and turn 2 on Contreras. So that'll be the end of the Cardinals' 7th. Midway through 7, it is 4-2 Pirates. Contreras just constantly grounding into double plays this season. I'm actually going to check how many. Wonder if they have that on here. Is this something that's just going to show up if you type it in? Nope. All right. Let's just see how many double plays he's grounded into and whether it leads baseball right now. Negative 0.64. It's pretty bad. A 1 OPS plus. At least it's positive. Grounded into double plays. That he has his third in this one. So he only had 2 coming in. So 3. Let's see if we can get the leaders. I mean, grounding into double plays is not one that they have on here. Maybe if we go to standard. There it is. 3 is the league lead right now. So Contreras made his way up there and is now tied for the league lead in that stat. So congrats to him. 3 times already. He's hit a ground ball and costed the Cardinals 2 outs. So hopefully that stops happening. Let's see. Are the Cardinals declaring their next pitcher yet? They have. It's still Liberatore, and IKF steps up to the plate. Strike 1 and strike 2. Both put right in there by Liberatore, so he has been able to settle in. 4 straight zeros up on the board. Looking for a 5th here in the 7th. Here it is. Ground ball to the right side for a base hit for IKF. So he takes the 0-2 pitch for a hit. Tough time to give up a hit if you are Liberatore, but he did. And there's 1 on with nobody out in the 7th. After 1 in the 1st and 3 in the 2nd, Liberatore has blanked the Pirates for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. 8 hits allowed in this one. 1 error for both sides. First pitch to Frazier is going to be squared around, but he pulls it back 1-0. So Frazier squared around a bunt. Opted against it once the ball was too high to be a strike. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He does get down a bunt, but it is foul. So he does not get down a bunt. 1-1. Camera angle played a trick on me there. The 1-1 pitch to Frazier. Tries to bunt, does not. 1-2. That was just a fastball in the zone, and he did not get the bunt down. So, who knows? Good job by Liberatore, putting it where I guess Frazier didn't expect it. Here's the 1-2. Up and away, 2-2 now. IKF on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Pozo behind the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Adam Frazier. Goes out and chops it foul. 2-2. Still the count on Frazier. Liberatore winds up and delivers. Strike 3, a beautiful 4-seam at the bottom of the zone, and Frazier takes the 3rd strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. So Liberatore is really settled in this one. But Marmol is stepping out to go get Chris Roycroft. So Liberatore's day is over. 89 pitches, 6 1/3, allowed 4 runs. But all those runs were early, and he settled down and kept the Cardinals in it. So a good job by Liberatore to keep his head up. And here comes Chris Roycroft. We will take a look as he gets settled in at Roycroft's stats for the season. Let's go ahead and click X on this. Roycroft has no WAR so far in this season. He is 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 4 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. So not too bad. 2 home runs allowed last season, none this season. Last season he appeared in 27 games through 34 innings and had a 100 ERA plus. So very average last season. He's been a little above average so far this season. So that's who's coming in for the Cardinals. I remember he struggled early last season, but was able to settle in. So that's always good. Chris Roycroft. This is behaving weird. Here he is. Nope, they're just showing Liberatore's highlights. Here we go. First pitch from Roycroft to Hayes. A little low, 1-0. One-0 pitch from Roycroft to Hayes. Outside, 2-0 now. Trying to settle in. I remember Roycroft was a little unsteady at times last season. Hopefully he can settle down in this one. 2-0 to Ke'Bryan Hayes. Way outside, 3-0 now. Roycroft unable to settle in here in this cold weather. Missed the zone by a mile. He wants a new baseball. I think he's really just trying to let his hands get used to it. Hopefully he can find the strike zone here. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Hayes. A little low, and that's 4 straight balls to start the game for Roycroft as Hayes has walked. Contreras has a couple words for Roycroft, and now it'll be Andrew McCutchen with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th. You wonder if some guys just struggle more to pitch in the cold weather. I bet they do, but that's a stat the manager won't often look at when deciding who should pitch. And here's the first pitch to Andrew McCutchen. Strike 1, lower outside corner. A perfect pitch. McCutchen was doing the veteran thing and taking that pitch no matter what. Yesterday, the bullpen threw a lot of pitches, and Roycroft is coming off 22 pitches from yesterday. Here's the 0-1 to McCutchen. Outside, 1-1. So Roycroft's not doing well. You think maybe it's the cold weather? It could also just be back-to-back. The 7th pitch of the outing today for Roycroft is inside, 2-1. Hopefully he can find the zone soon. McCutchen seems to be very patient at the plate. 2 on and 1 out in the 7th. The pitch from Roycroft to McCutchen. Low again, 3-1 now. Roycroft is really struggling. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a 3-1 count. Count runs full on McCutchen. You wonder what McCutchen is going to do here with Joey Bart standing on deck, who already homered. Here's the full count pitch to McCutchen. Hit hard to center field. It's going to find the gap, and that will be extra bases for McCutchen. Off the wall, Ciani goes and gets it, but 1 run scores for the Pirates. Another will come around, and it is 6-2 Pirates here in the 7th. McCutchen delivers once again. So Roycroft struggled to find the zone, put 1 man on, and allowed more to come around to score. Fastball right down the middle. McCutchen didn't miss it. Was able to pull it right into the gap. No chance for either outfielder. And it's 6-2 Pirates. Here comes Joey Bart, Pirates catcher, homered in the first. First pitch from Roycroft, outside 1-0. It's really tough to be a member of the bullpen, and it's even tougher when it's cold out and you're coming off a back-to-back. Roycroft throws a strike that time, 1-1. And that is the situation for Roycroft now, so part of the blame should go on the rainout the other day. And maybe the managers for going with the guy who threw 22 pitches yesterday, but there weren't a whole lot of options, so you can't really be that critical. There's strike 2 on Bart. 6-2 Pirates. Roycroft has finally found the zone. Has a 1-2 count advantage here. Here is the pitch to Joey Bart. Way outside. Maybe he hasn't. It's 2-2. Still 2-2. The 2-2 is fouled back off the catcher. Still 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Roycroft to Bart. Way outside, the count runs full. So Roycroft has let this at-bat slip away. It was 1-2, now it is full. 1 out, runner on second. Here is the pitch. Fly ball. Deep center field. Back and gone. It looks like the fan reached over and touched it. Ciani might have an argument. 1 run was able to score for the Pirates. Bart did stop. You wonder if that'll be a triple, a homer, or a double. I believe a fan did reach over and grab that. Either way, it's going to be 7-2 Pirates on a long one from Bart. Fan reached over and knocked it away from Ciani, so this will be a very interesting play to look at. I don't know if I've ever seen this. They got to place this runner. I have to assume they're going to put him on second, maybe? The rule would normally be fan interference and he would be called out, but I do not think Ciani really had a chance to catch this ball. I would place him on second base and get that fan ejected. Unless it was a kid, obviously, but let's see. All right, I think the play just went under further review. Yep, the Cardinals have challenged the ruling. Siani goes up. That ball was not going to be caught by Siani. Realistically, it was not a kid, though. It was just a Pirates fan who brought a glove. You have to assume this is going to be called back and made a double, not triple. I mean, this is a very typical Bartman incident, but it's just the how can you call him out right there? The play was not going to be made, you know? Well, I guess not quite the Bartman incident, because this one helps the Pirates, and it was in fair territory. This is a very, very interesting play. If you get the chance to watch it, you'll know what I'm saying. So the Pirates win that challenge somehow. Bart gets to stay on third, even though he definitely would not have gotten to third if the ball did not ricochet off of a fan's arm. So very strange. So I guess it's a triple. It is what it is now, I guess. 1-0 on O'Neill Cruz. The pitch from Roycroft. In there for a strike. Cruz didn't like it. Roycroft had to wait extra time. It's almost like a third outing now in the last 2 days. Pitch 20 from Roycroft to O'Neill Cruz. 1-1 count in this at-bat. Hit hard and high and deep to center field. But that one is catchable, and he makes the play. So that's a sac fly, and Joey Bart goes and scores after the ruling is to keep him on third. And Roycroft missed outside with the first pitch to Pham. I apologize. I was receiving a couple calls. It is 1-0. Missed outside again, 2-0 now on Tommy Pham. There's a strike. Oh, they called a ball. It's now 3-0 on FAM. It was a fastball at the top of the zone. Here is the 3-0 pitch. All right, here's the 3-2 pitch to FAM. A little low, and FAM walks. So Pirates have another runner here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, 1 on. 8-2 Pirates. For Alexander Canario. Strike 1 on him. So the Cardinals pitching gives up 4 more here in the 7th. Another really bad game from the pitching staff. A good job by Liberatore to keep the Cardinals in it, but Roycroft blew up here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Missed outside, 1-1. Canario with a runner on first, 2 outs in the 7th. The Cardinals would need 6 runs in 2 innings to come back in this one. The 1-2, fouled the other way. Still 1-2. We got another fake comment on the Twitch. Here's the 1-2. Popped up. And the catch is made by Pozo. Good job by Pozo. But 4 runs were scored by the Pirates, and it is 8-2 after 7 in Pittsburgh. Cardinals will need 4 hits in these next 2 innings in order to maintain the 10-hit streak, if you care about that. If you care about winning, Cardinals will need 6 runs in these 2 innings. And it starts with Donovan Burleson Walker to start next inning. Let's take a look at the bullpen of Pittsburgh and see if we can figure out where they'll go next with a big lead. Maybe someone like Meza or Joey Wentz. Joey Wentz is more of a long reliever. Although Harrington is supposed to be their long reliever, and he was just in the game, so wouldn't be surprising to see Wentz or Baruki. We will get to see soon. This game's not exactly close, so hopefully the Cardinals can rally their way back into it with Donovan Burleson Walker. It's the heart of the order there, 3, 4, 5. And then you have Sajasi and Pozo after that. Pozo already has a homer in this one, so if the Cardinals can rally, maybe he could deliver a big hit for them late. All right, here is the pitch to Donovan from Harrington. So it is still Thomas Harrington. I didn't think about that possibility. The long reliever going long here. Top of the 8th. He has 36 pitches in this one. He's been pitching pretty well since that home run, so it makes sense. Here's the pitch. Fouled away by Donovan. 0-2 now. PNC not exactly looking very full today. It's cold outside, and they're already up big. Here is the 0-2 to Brendan Donovan. Way upstairs with the sweeper, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Ground ball. Got through with a base hit. Very slow roller. Somehow snuck it into the gap. Good job by Donovan. He always knows how to find the gap in the defense. Good single for him. 3 for 4 game for Donovan. Him and Sajasi have been the bright spots, along with Pozo and Ciani. So 4 hitters have been bright spots this game, but couple of blemishes in the pitching staff. Here comes Burleson to face Harrington in the 8th. Here's the first pitch to him. Hit high and deep to right field, but it will not get over the wall. It'll drop, and that'll be a deep single for Burleson. So I guess he wasn't hustling. It's too easy of a throw. And the Cardinals have runners at the corners in the 8th. So Donovan was able to get to third, but Burleson only could reach a single on that one. The wind kind of made that a very strange fly ball. Donovan had to read it a little bit. That's why he did not score. So runners at the corners. It played like a slow grounder almost. Here comes Jordan Walker. 0 for 3 today, but 10 for 33 on the year. Swing and a miss for the first strike. Hitting .303 on the season. 0-1 right now with runners at the corners, nobody out. 8-2 Pirates. Second pitch to Jordan Walker. Upstairs, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Jordan Walker. Ooh, a sweeper, ground ball to third. Looks like it'll drive in a run, and it does, and he is out at first. So RBI ground out for Walker. Moves the runner over to second base. And that will bring up Sajasi with a runner on second and 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Sajasi 4 for 7 on the season and 2 for 3 today with Burleson standing on second base. First pitch from Harrington to Sajasi. Popped up. First baseman drifts back, and the right fielder calls him off for out number 2. So 2 out and 1 on in the 8th. And here comes Pozo. So he will get a chance to get the Cardinals back into it if he could have another drive like he did earlier. So Thomas Harrington facing Yoel Pozo with 2 outs now, and Burleson still on second base. The pitch, another high fly ball to left field, but this one's catchable. And the play is made out and left by Pham, who tosses it to a little kid. And the Cardinals are through the top of the 8th. Midway through 8, it is 8 for the Pirates to 3 for the Cardinals in PNC. So you have to imagine Roycroft's day is over, so maybe the Cardinals will go to Leahy or some other reliever here. Maybe like Matz, just try to finish these 2 innings. Let's take a look at the Cardinals bullpen. I would expect John King, Leahy, or Matz here. I guess you can see here Zach Thompson was moved to the 60-day IL, so he'll be out for a long time. It's unfortunate. It'll be exciting to see him when he returns. It will be John King pitching for the Cardinals. He's pitched 2 innings and has a 13.5 ERA, so it's about, what is that? It's going to be 3 runs allowed in those 2 innings. So not great. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez. Fly ball to left. But Nootbaar ranges out and makes the play. 1 out in the 8th. That'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He is 2 for 3 today. The first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Tomorrow we will get Sonny Gray versus Paul Skeens. A very exciting duel of the aces. Hopefully the Cardinals can put on a better show tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by IKF, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from King. Low and away, 1-2. Cardinals' hits record is still on the line in this one. They would need 2 hits in the top of the 9th in order to keep that going. And the 1-2 pitch is a ground ball to short. Mason Wynn scoops it, makes the easy throw, and there are 2 away now in the 8th. So good job by King, settling in. Here comes Adam Frazier. First pitch to him is low, 1-0. Cardinals trail by 5 in this one, so they could come back in the 9th. That'll be their last opportunity. Here's the 1-0. Up and in, 2-0 now. Popped up, a little foul, out of play. 2-1 now on Frazier. Frazier has a ground out and 2 strikeouts in this one. 6 for 29 on the season. The 2-1. Hit the other way, but it's caught out and left by Nootbaar. A diving catch. And that will end the Pirates' offensive game, barring a massive comeback by the Cardinals. We head to the top of the 9th, 8-3 Pirates. It'll be Siani, Wynn, Nootbaar, which sounds good to me. Couple guys who can get on base. 3 of them, actually. And then you would need one more base runner out of Contreras or Donovan. And after that point, you'd have Burleson, Walker, and Sajasi trying to drive everybody in. So the deep lineup has another chance to come back in this one in the 9th if they have it in them. They also have a chance with a few singles hitters to get a couple of hits and keep that 10-hit streak alive. It's very, very rare that a team gets 10 hits in every game. And that's what the Cardinals have a chance to do if they get 2 hits here. They could do it for their first 10 games. You look at who is on the roster, and then you add in Herrera. It truly is a really, really good group of players. But it just hasn't lived up to what it can be so far this season. Where is Gorman? Did they send Gorman down? No, he's still sitting here. Okay. Yep. All right. So still on the IL. That's what's giving Sajasi his chances. And it will be Siani to lead off the 9th. Here we go. So Harrington still on the mound for the Pirates. Trying to close it out with 4 straight innings in this one. The first pitch to Siani. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Thomas Harrington to Michael Siani. In the zone, splitter hanging right up there. Strike 1. Here's the 1-1 to Siani. Another splitter at the top of the zone. Strike 2. Fell right back in. Siani didn't like it, but it was a strike. Siani settles down, calls his timeout, and digs back in. The 1-2 pitch from Harrington to Siani. Swing and a miss on a sweeper. Outside part of the plate. Would have been a ball, but he swung right through it as it wrapped around his bat for strike 3. Over in Washington, the Nationals lead the Dodgers 6-4. Toronto leads Boston 5-1. The Cubs lead the Rangers 3-0. As Mason Wynn steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. A little low, 1-0. The Mets do lead the Marlins 1-0 as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Harrington to Mason Wynn. A little high, 2-0 now. He is 8 for 36 on the season with a 539 OPS, so still working his way back up to where he was last season. 2-0 pitch to Mason Wynn. Hit high and deep to left field, absolutely smoked. At the wall and gone. A home run for Mason Wynn. That'll be his first of the season. Stayed right on that one, smoked it to left field in PNC. And that is also his 3rd RBI. 105 off the bat, 403 feet, 23-degree launch angle. Great approach, great hit by Wynn, easy homer. So that'll pull that OPS up. And it is 4-8 in the 9th with Lars Nootbaar coming up. Nootbaar looking for his first hit of the game. Has a walk in this one. He's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss right through a four seam at the top of the zone, 0-1. If either Nootbaar or Contreras can deliver with a single, the Cardinals will keep that hit streak alive. Here's the 0-1. Up and away, 1-1. Nootbaar hitting .310 on the year with an .896 OPS. Here's the 1-1 to him. Splitter at the top of the zone, dropped in for a strike, 1-2. That's a very deceptive pitch at the top of the zone. Everybody believes it's going to be high, and it catches the top. Here is the 1-2 from Thomas Harrington. Splitter at the bottom of the zone, gets Nootbaar on strike 3, and there are 2 away in the 9th. So the game and the hit streak fall into the hands of Willson Contreras. So Harrington has thrown 56 pitches in relief, trying to get through 4 innings. Here's the first pitch from him to Contreras. Swing and a miss on a sweeper, 0-1. Contreras hitting .105 this season, but was absolutely excellent last season, so hopefully he can find that stroke again. Here is the 0-1 pitch to Willson. Sweeper, easy to hit, hanging in the zone, and he takes it for strike 2. It's 0-2 on Contreras. Cardinals down to their final strike, and so is the 10-hit streak. Cardinals had 10 hits in their first 9 games. 9 hits tonight. Here is the pitch to Contreras. Does not go on a sweeper. He does not go on a sweeper. 1-2. Very, very, very close, but he did hold back. So it's 1-2 now on Contreras. He settles down. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Harrington. Swing and a miss on a sweeper, and there goes the hit streak for the Cardinals. Only 9 games with double-digit hits to start the season. Still unprecedented in the modern era, but unable to stretch it to an all-time record. As Contreras goes down and they finish with just 9 hits and 4 runs tonight, which is still an excellent offensive performance, but not what you need to win a game in Pittsburgh tonight. So 8-4 final in Pittsburgh, and the Cardinals fall to 4